what you think the biggest traps or mistakes that keep people from accomplishing their goals.
Okay, good. They think too small.
Think too small.
Most people carry their goals around in their head.
Mm.
And it's a little too vague. It's not quite specific enough. They don't write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Gail Matthews, psychologist, she wrote, she did this study, this piece of her research, and she found that the simple act of writing down your goal, writing it down, getting it on paper, or getting it on your laptop or whatever, that alone increased your chances of success with that goal by 43%.
Come on. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It just somehow it makes it so much more real. But I guess it's kind of like some people, if they just make a daily to-do list for themselves, they're more productive the next day.
You talk about in the book, page 27, your brain's first impulse is to scan for danger and unpleasant side effects. You automatically focus on the trouble or setback, the setback or failure causes. It's a brain pattern rooted deep in our survival instincts. We're just wired that way as human beings. As playwright John Dryden put it, self-defense is nature's eldest law. But if we're looking and scanning for danger or unpleasant side effects, and it sounds like constantly failing and having people make fun of us is the greatest psychological threat. Is people making fun of us or criticizing us or judging us or talking badly about us behind our backs or not wanting to be around us. Isn't that a great psychological side effect or threat, that failure and making mistakes and putting out the big goal you're going to go after in the world when people...
Yeah, I'm sure that's true, but I think that for many of us, I think we're our own worst critic.
Yes, man, that's true. We probably defeat ourselves more than anyone else does.
Yeah. Most people aren't paying that much attention to your life.
Right.
Don't take yourself that seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
They're not.
They got their own life.
Yeah. People look around, and when they're trying to decide on what their goal is going to be, they think in terms of, what will the world allow me to do?
Mm.
And that really puts boundaries on it. Instead of thinking, what do I want to do? What am I willing to commit to and make happen? It's a very different game. And I'm first of all, I'm just a massive believer in setting goals for your life. Small goals are good for to-do list, or if you're trying to develop a habit and some of those kinds of things. But small goals create small energy.
Mm-hmm.
They attract small resources, and they're very, very incremental. Big goals create energy. They stir you up. They make you more creative. They attract other people. People want to be part of it. And so when you set big goals, you don't just achieve more, you become more.
That is true.
If you set a quantum leap goal, if you pick a worthy enough target, you don't know how to get there.
Yeah. It should scare you.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, you've made quantum leaps before. Every human being has. Simple example I love to give, and it proves that everybody's done this before, is when you went from crawling to walking.
Yeah.
You can't crawl fast enough. You can't play that crawling game good enough to become a walker. In fact, it's a different set. It's a different technique. It's a different set of moves. And same thing when you go from walking to running, or from walking, running, whatever, to riding a bicycle. Mm-hmm. All of those things.
Or to driving a car. Or
Yeah. And, okay, so what's interesting about any of those things is, okay, so how did you pull off the success in that particular move, whichever it was? You failed again and again and again. And people are afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because failing feels like losing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how people don't want to fail. They can't take the punishment of failure. They don't want to be embarrassed, humiliated, lose money. And I think it was Alfred Adler, who was a contemporary of Sigmund Freud, one of the legendary psychologists from back when. And one of his quotes I love so much, he said, one of your biggest mistakes in life will be that you take too many precautions.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that all the time. If you start to make a quantum leap, you're triggering a new set of dynamics. You're going to deal with a new set of problems. I mean, you're kind of going into a fog of ambiguity. This is a place you hadn't been before. We're not talking about incremental change. We're talking about major change.
Mm-hmm.
Luck kind of needs to come into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're probably going to need luck on your side if you're going to do, if you're going to swing for the fences.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But there are things that we can do to engineer luck into our life. It does not have to be, we shouldn't allow it to be just a random event. It's a random thing, but it's too important to ignore.
Mm.
And so,
because people just say, oh, they got lucky, they had this opportunity. But you're saying that there is a strategic or scientific way that we can influence more luck in our lives. Is that right?
absolutely.
So how do we create more?
First of all,
luck?
we tell luck what we want.
We tell luck what we want.
Yeah, that's that big goal. Tell luck what you're shooting for.
Mm.
When you set that goal, in that clarity, get it out of your head and down on paper, all of a sudden, you may be surrounded by luck. So that's one thing you can do. Tell luck what you want. The next thing, luck plays favorites.
Mm.
Luck has a bias. Luck prefers the optimists.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because first of all, they see luck's opportunities when he lays them in front of him. And secondly, the optimist will take the chances.
That's true.
Well, luck
pessimist will be like, I don't believe that's a good, I'm not going to take that. Or that person, what do they really want from me? They're trying to break
luck
this opportunity.
gets pissed off when you refuse its chances.
Mm.
And if your heart's not in it, back to that goal thing, luck doesn't get very interested either. It goes looking for someone that's fevered up, man.
It's excited.
Someone that is cranked in there. And luck wants to see you working.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing anything, luck gets disinterested and goes try to find somebody that's going to put some energy into this.
Yes.
So tell luck what you want. Believe in it. Be positive. When luck comes before you, do something with it.
So in 6 decades, if you could give yourself 3 pieces of advice of all the information you've learned, from all the books you've written, all the books you've read, all the research, all the science that was out back then, the science that's out now, if you were like, I can only give myself 3 pieces of advice to use to create an incredible life for myself, what would that be for you?
Take more risks.
Uh-huh.
Believe in myself more. Be willing to fail.
Why believe in self more?
There's a saying that the Navy SEALs have. I may be a little bit off on this list, but I think it's 40% rule. It says most people, when they get to 40% and it gets harder, they quit. They think, I'm through, I'm finished.
Mm.
And that much is left in terms of true capability.
Potential.
Yeah.
60% left they haven't tapped into.
Yeah. We don't test ourselves. I am a huge, huge believer in personal accountability. If something goes wrong, how much of that do I own? Probably 95% or 100% of it, usually. And anyway, if something does go wrong in my world, the world is typically not inclined to fix that for me.
No. People aren't going to come rescue you.
Yeah.
They got their own problems.
That's right.
What would those 3 truths be for you? And maybe you already said it, but I'm curious if you have.
I would stick with the same thing I said last time, I think, those 3 truths are, first of all, you are the most powerful person in your life. It's not your daddy, it's not your boss, it's not your mother. It's not your best friend. You are the most powerful person in your life, and you have been for a long time. Secondly, you have an amazing capacity for change. Truly amazing capacity to change. And third, you are the solution to your future.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah. That's beautiful.